House. I understand Donald Trump is speaking now in France with the French President Emmanuel Macron. Let's listen in.
Un lendemain d'anniversaire et de célébration, et je remercie son équipe, les ministres et ambassadeurs et l'équipe la plus proche d'être là à ses côtés. C'est important qu'on puisse d'abord avoir ce G7 au lendemain d'un accord essentiel qui a été scellé avec l'Iran pour parler évidemment de nos grandes crises, l'Iran, l'Ukraine, nos guerres, leurs règlements, construire la paix et restaurer la prospérité, mais aussi voir les voies et moyens de coopérer entre nos économies.
Okay, as we await translation, I'll try and guide you through what the French President Emmanuel Macron has been saying. For now, he is just welcoming formally the U.S. President Donald Trump.
250 ans d'indépendance, la France ayant été aux côtés des États-Unis d'Amérique à Versailles dans 2 jours. I wanted to say,
So he is referencing the dinner that Donald Trump will be invited to in Versailles, just outside of Paris, that will be in commemoration of the U.S.'s independence anniversary, the 250th anniversary, which we know is very important to Donald Trump and which will be taking place early July in the U.S.
And it's a very important one because first it will fix the nuclear issue. And it's a very important matter for peace for the whole world. And it will reopen Hormuz. It will provide peace in Lebanon. And so we are ready to take our fair share of the burden and be part of the commitment of the international community in order to support this deal. And we will discuss about that together and with colleagues later on. But it's a very important step towards peace, but as well for global economy. We will have the occasion to discuss about the war in Ukraine in order to re-engage together and negotiate a good and solid peace and sustainable peace. And President Zelensky will be with us as well tomorrow. And obviously we will have the occasion to bring this G7 to speak about a series of issues from rare earths, critical minerals, trade, etc., where we have to build convergence among the G7 members. And it will be the occasion for us to celebrate the 250 years of independence for the US. And Versailles is a good place because this is where the King and his Minister of Foreign Affairs at the time did support the US during years, but as well prepared what we called the Paris Treaty in 1783, which was the final point of this war. So it's a great honor and a great pleasure to have you, Mr. President, in Evian and Paris.
Thank you. So, Emmanuel has been a special friend of mine. We've had a fantastic relationship. We've worked on many deals together. I'm very happy to say signed, the deal's all signed. And the Strait is already partially opened. As you know, they're doing a little hunting for a couple of mines that they've already found. But it's essentially ships are starting to go out now. On Friday, it'll be completely opened. We got along very well with Iran. It's a different set of leaders. As you know, the first set is gone, the second set is gone, and we found the third set to be very smart, strong, very smart, but we ended up making a deal. I felt badly that we had to go back on the attack for 2 nights, and I thought a third, but we made it before that happened. But I think a lot of great things are going to happen in the Middle East right now, and very importantly, the oil is plummeting down, and the stock market is shooting up like a rocket today, like record kind of numbers. And the oil has taken its biggest plunge, and we're into the low numbers, not quite back yet, Kevin, to the extent, but we're getting close to the numbers we were before it all started. And the main thing is that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. They fully agreed to that with strong policing powers, and they won't have a nuclear weapon, which is what it was all about, because they probably would have used it if they had it. So we had 2 big moments. When they terminated the JCPOA, that was the Obama deal, the Barack Hussein Obama deal. And when I terminated that, it was very important because it was a road to a nuclear weapon. It was a horrible deal for the United States. It was a deal where billions of dollars was given to Iran. It was a deal where $1.7 billion in cash was put on a Boeing 7, well, not a 77, a 57, I guess, right? but it was put on a big, beautiful Boeing 757. They needed a Boeing 747, to be honest with you, because there was a lot of cash. 1.7 billion was taken out of the banks and given to Iran. And on top of that, tens of billions of dollars was paid. So they tried to bribe them to make a deal, and that didn't work. It never works. And we've done a great job. And hopefully it's going to be a good relationship, and we're going to get along. And if we don't, we go back to where we started, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. The Iran deal that we made is going to bring a lot of success to the world, because the oil was really clogged up there for a while. He would call me on occasion and say, "Come on, please, let's go with the oil prices." But the oil is coming way down, so I'm very honored by it. I want to thank you for your help. You've always been a help. And it's an honor to be with you. We had a very good conversation yesterday with President Zelensky and President Putin. And I see maybe we can do something there. I really do. I think they're both open to it. So I'm going to, now that this is finished, we're going to be focusing on that, see if we can get that one done. 25,000 people a month are dying, mostly soldiers, and that shouldn't happen. But I had two very good conversations yesterday. We'll be talking about it. And we had a really exciting, I think maybe one of the most incredible evenings in the history of the White House. We had an evening last night with the fighters, and I was very happy. I called last night, very late last night, to congratulate you, because in the heavyweight division, a French fighter won. I don't know, is that maybe more important than the World Cup? To some people it might be. To some people it might be. You have a good team in the World Cup, very good team, but you have good fighters too. And you're a great country, and it's an honor to be with you. Thank you very much.
Hey sir, are you going to try to attend the signing ceremony on Friday?
Well, it depends. JD's coming in for it. He was originally going to do it. I'll probably be gone by then. We're having dinner in a day and a half, right? We're going to be staying quite late. So I may be involved, I may not. But JD was coming in for that specifically.
Thank you.
Mr. President, when will the text of the MOU be released?
I think pretty soon. I would say, I mean, I want it to be released because it's a very powerful document. It's not like the Obama document, which was just a terrible document. This is a very powerful document, and I want it to be released. So probably pretty soon. I would say sometime after Friday, because the Strait opens completely. It's open now, but it opens completely. We'll have all the mines knocked out of, for the most part. We have a lot of lanes right now already.
Mr. President.
So I think sometime in the very near future, yeah.
Mr. President, does the deal involve any sanctions relief for Iran? When would that go into
No,
effect?
it doesn't. Well, they have to. It's really a behavioral thing. If they do what they're supposed to do, that starts taking effect.
Monsieur Macron, quel engagement êtes-vous prêt à prendre au nom de la France dans le détroit d'Hormuz? Vous avez parlé du porte-avions Charles de Gaulle. Mr. President, what do you expect from France and
Well, I would love them to
countries?
do that. I don't think we're going to need much help because we have an agreement where it's going to be open. And it's toll-free. We had a little argument on that. It's toll-free. So I don't think we're going to need much help. But I don't think it's a bad idea to have a ship or two up here from a few countries. You'd be a great country to do it, because you never know what happens. But I think it's going to be open, and I think it's going to be free sailing. We do want to see if we can straighten out the Lebanon thing, because it just seems to just never end. And that's a mini version of what we were doing, and it should not be tough. It should not be tough. So Hezbollah, we have to have a little talk with them.
Et juste répondre en français à la question qui a été posée en français sur la contribution. Nous sommes prêts à avoir dès demain des chasseurs qui sont sur place et qui peuvent aider aux missions d'observation et sous 48 heures, des frégates qui peuvent évidemment se déployer.
The French President Emmanuel Macron has just been asked about any French participation and effort in helping reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and he is saying right now that France will be sending military assets to help in that endeavor.
Les parties prenantes de l'accord et les deux parties, en particulier autour du détroit. Et nous avons agrégé avec les Britanniques une mission ad hoc où d'ores et déjà une vingtaine de pays ont
The French president now confirming what had been in the works, that France and the UK will be leading a mission to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz. This will be led by France and the UK, and he said some 20 countries will be taking part in this maritime and naval mission.
Ce ne sera pas nécessaire, mais en tout cas, c'est une disposition qui marque notre volonté d'aider, de soutien et notre disponibilité. Et nous sommes prêts.
The French president reiterating that France remains committed to helping in this regard. Now, remember the context here. France and the UK, in fact, had both turned down requests by Donald Trump to come in and send their military assets to try and reopen the Strait of Hormuz earlier in the war. They had said they didn't want to do so during an active conflict, but they are willing to do so under the current circumstances.